Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Taking half-court shots with lots of time left on the clock. It's the Audience of One show on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM, streaming on irlonestar.com and available wherever you tend to get your podcasts from. On today's show, we discuss wearing a tail in class, when texting hookers goes wrong, and today we have a special guest. I am Andrew, maestro of the run sheet, next to the guy who is on constant spring break mode. It's Dick. I'm scared of drunk college kids. Schisler. Did you run into any drunk college kids over the weekend? Throughout the week, I should say.
Well, actually, I found out this week is actually college spring break.
No, I think it was last week.
Well, there's a bunch of kids older kids at the bowling alley.
You know what?
So
I'm going to go on record and say I don't know when college spring break is.
Yeah,
so you might be right.
You don't know.
But I do know when the high school one is. Because I have high school.
That was last week.
Daughter. That's why. I don't know what you were thinking, sicko. Yes, that was last week. So, whatever, man. Hey, this show is going to be awesome. I don't actually know that. I just declared it.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is it?
I just went out on a limb and said that. I don't know, man.
I think this weekend is going to be awesome.
Do you know?
We're cooking crawfish for the first time this season.
Are you going to raw dog that crawfish?
No.
No season. You got to do at least just one batch with no seasoning.
We got the stale cracker seasoning. We found it.
No, I'm telling you, just one batch. You got to do like a constant. You know, when you were in high school and you were doing science fair projects, they always had you do one as like a constant. That was to know what the experiment was before it started. You got to do one batch, just raw dog boil that thing.
We'll just do one crawfish that way.
Yeah, just one.
Just one.
Oh, man. I was walking through my neighborhood the other day, as I do often, and it seemed like every fifth house had a package at the door, like an Amazon package. And I'm like, man, I kind of had a calling of the void, scenario where I thought, I don't really want to be a porch pirate, but thought it might be kind of cool if I was. Because the thought was going through my mind of, what was in that package? I wonder what's in that package. I mean, it could be socks, it could be underwear, or it could be like a new George Foreman grill. As we've established, I love those. Because the best part about Christmas is opening up the gifts. This would be like Christmas.
But you never got
every day.
You never gotten a package sent to you accidentally?
Yeah, I'm sure it's happened. You don't keep it though.
I've kept mine.
Yeah, that would be the problem is what do you do with all the stuff that you don't want and offloading it? Because ultimately you have to sell it. Not everything you get you're going to be able to use.
Well, like if it's my neighbor, I'll bring it to, a couple times we get packages that have nothing to do with our neighborhood. And I'm like, well, do I really want to find this person? And I mean, that would be the Good Samaritan thing. But I was like, I'll just call Amazon and tell them they left a package here. And then they never picked it up. So I was like,
well, you did your due diligence.
Yeah.
You tried. An effort was made, right? Yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad about it.
And it was a 12-pack of poppy soda, or what? It's like the probiotic soda that's good for you. It's natural soda or something.
Oh yeah,
what's it called? Toppy. They just got purchased by Pepsi.
Called like Good Pop or something like that. Yeah, I've had them. Of course, you know me and my probiotics. I try it all, baby.
I think it has that. I don't know. It was just kind of like I thought it'd be cooler.
Yeah.
It was just soda. I was like, it's lame.
Well,
man.
I don't recommend being
I wanted
a
it
porch...
to be like an iPod or something like that. I'd be like, oh, sweet.
Exactly. You're just rolling the dice. Again, I don't recommend being a porch pirate, but kind of cool that if I was.
But speaking of Amazon, the other day I was thinking about is I want to talk to an Amazon driver and understand what a good day is for him. Mm-hmm. So, like, to give you an idea, like at the bowling alley, a good day at the bowling alley is no one bothers me.
That's a good day in general.
But that's not good for the bowling alley. Like, no one's coming
Right.
in. But, like, I don't have to deal with people's smelly feet and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking an Amazon driver, like, what's considered a good day for you? Right? You're not wondering what a good day for an Amazon driver? Like, I don't have to do packages.
A lot of light packages. No Morton's rock salt and 50 pounds of cat litter. I think that'd be a bad day. Right, so light.
Is that what you think you would say?
I don't know.
Or she?
I'm not an Amazon driver, man. I don't know.
Well, one of my friends was a UPS driver. Maybe I should ask him.
Go for it. I would.
He did. That was his summer or winter job when he came from school. Like on school break, he'd be a UPS driver for like 4.5 weeks.
Dude, I would take that van out and just party it.
Yeah, well, he didn't drive.
Put like a...
They always hire the temp guys to be like the assistant.
Boo. Because I would put like a water, like one of those little kiddie pools in the back, have a party. Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome.
Well, remember that? Do you remember that Amazon
Bikini
article
girls.
we found? Like he dumped all the packages in some guy's like ravine.
Yeah, he dumped it out in the woods.
Why won't you just steal them? If you're already like this guy seriously dumped like a truckload
Yes.
of Amazon packages in
First of all, who are you talking to?
to my imaginary friend over here.
Okay. I don't know who you're talking to. Maybe we should go ahead and introduce our special guest. But first, before we do so, why don't we play a little tune for him?
Okay, what we have to play a tune?
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Just sit right back, he'll tell a tale as old as time, of leaky roofs and squeaky doors as if it's made of twine. On the scene in his blue truck, the man from LSC, caulking cracks and talking smack. It's Roof Daddy Paddy, it's Roof Daddy Paddy. Do better yo, 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 do better yo.
That's right, everyone. Back by popular demand, we have Patty O Furniture. Welcome back to the Audience
Walk
of One
the
show.
cock. Right? Oh, I gotta get your mic up. I'm listening to this song. I'm having too much fun. All right, Patty, you should be good.
Yeah, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Well, I know that in a lot of your posts, do better, yo. You do put that moniker in there. Do better. Just
Got to do better than that.
Just do better than that. Well, thank you for showing up again. I greatly appreciate you coming in and infiltrating our little show. How you been, man?
It's always fun. You've been doing good, staying busy. You know, the weather's starting to warm up a bit, and everybody's that bought their houses a year ago is getting their 1-year warranty inspections, and now I'm starting to get ready for the summer heat.
Have you thought about fighting fires as a side gig? I heard that's paying pretty well these days.
I would absolutely love to not to do that.
I would.
Yeah, obviously you've heard about these fires that we've got going on, right?
I had it all over my car.
You had a fire all over your car?
Well, wherever was happened around Fredericksburg, wherever the county had that huge fire, there's ash all over my car in Austin. I was like,
you mean? Well, I'm talking about here locally, man. The fires here in San Jacinto and Montgomery counties. Has it crossed over into Montgomery? At the time of this recording, it did. Yeah,
I believe so. I just know that it's north of 105. That's all I know. So I'm down by 242, so I got my little buffer. If it stays north of 105, I'm good.
That's pretty scary, man. Mandatory evacuations for many in that area. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, when we had the fires in Magnolia back in, 2010? Yeah, I had big chunks of burnt tree that were landing in my yard.
Yikes.
Yep.
I guess that's how it spreads, right? Through embers and wind and whatnot.
The wind is what does it. Yep.
It's our enemy, man.
and it's been windy.
It has. Well, thanks for showing up. You know, I feel like there's been a little bit of a dumb guy renaissance resurgence, so to speak, these days. And I really feel like the three of us in this room could really capitalize on this. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if you've noticed, some of the people who are most popular these days, Shane Gillis, Theo Vaughn, Pat McAfee, they've all kind of got that, if not dumb guy, real common guy theme going on. So I kind of feel like we need to capitalize on this dumb guy resurgence. What say you, man?
Oh, I've been doing it my whole life. So.
Capitalize.
Yep.
Dick, what do you think?
I always thought I was the smartest person in the room. Or most ignorant, either or.
Can you be the smartest and the most ignorant? I think you probably can.
Yeah, that's true. I actually didn't really care. I don't really care how I am. I don't really care. But
Okay.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no,
But those are comedians. That's not really fair. Like,
Well, Theo Vaughn is
a comedian,
podcaster and
well,
comedian.
he's
right?
a comedian, so
Okay.
he's funny.
Yeah, but he plays that dumb kind of.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But he does it really well.
Or he's not acting.
Or he's not acting.
I don't know. Are you a fan?
Well, it's kind of
Theo
like
Vaughn?
yeah.
Absolutely.
what was that? Larry the Cable Guy. He was pretending the whole time.
Maybe he was the trailblazer for these guys.
So
And I mean, Shane Gillis, I mean, he makes fun of himself as looking like he has downs. That's his own joke to himself. So, I mean, hey, look, that's about as... Well, never mind.
He got grazed by it. That's what he likes to say. He got grazed.
Downs adjacent?
Yep.
He's been touched. Just slightly.
But there's also real smart people that are famous, right?
Yeah, but I think the ones that are at the top of the game right now.
I don't know who they are, but I imagine.
Stephen Hawking, maybe?
Maybe. Well, he's
not.
passed.
Yeah, he has passed.
Well,
He's in a...
Neil deGrasse Tyson,
I'm not familiar with that name.
the astronomer. Is he an astronomer?
Whoa. Astronomer?
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 is that the one that
He's a
just says all
physicist?
the weird, crazy stuff all the time? And
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he's smart. He just, I don't know. I think he doesn't realize how common some knowledge is, and you'll just sit there and listen to him explain like something everybody knows, and he just talks about it like he's just discovered it. But he does have some good points too, but he kind of goes off the rails sometimes.
No, I'm not familiar with him.
Why don't you look him up?
And my internet's barely hanging in there.
Yeah, that's
I'll do
true.
it later.
I
I'll
don't
do
know
it
what's
later.
going on.
Well, why don't we reset here and let the audience know if you're not familiar with Patty and his work. What is it that you do, bud?
Home inspections, handyman contracting, and roofing. That's it.
Nice. Business? LSC?
LSC Home Inspections, LSC Home Solutions LLC, and Roof Daddy Roofing.
Nice, nice, nice.
Do you have like 3 different calendars for all your jobs, or do you have 3 different
It is
personalities?
a nightmare.
Do you have 3 different personalities?
So yeah, I have a calendar that I have to do with Roof Daddy, and then I also have a calendar for my home inspection business that is made by the software that I use, and then I have my calendar that's on my phone that came with the phone, and I just sort of funnel everything from the other 2 calendars into that.
Do you have like 3 different tool belts?
I have 2.
2 different tool belts?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
like
have-
you ever grab the wrong one when you're heading out?
No, the one's for roofing only, and the other one's for home inspections only.
But you didn't like get on a roof and you like look down. You're
Dang
like,
it, that's a hair dryer, not a
Dang it.
hammer.
No.
Yeah.
No, the hair dryer has not happened yet.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Do you have like different magnets for your car so you have to like swap them?
So funny you mentioned that.
Oh, look.
I've been working on a new design for my magnets to where it kind of encompasses everything, but I'm also toying with the idea
get
of
2
getting
cars.
a new van.
Just get 2 vans.
Well, that's expensive.
Business, but whatever business pay for it. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, right.
Just charge it to the business account.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
whatever you do, don't get windows in that van because that's more room for magnets.
Yes. You're right.
And windows or vans without windows they're the best.
Yeah.
Do all kinds of things back there.
Yep. No one ever know.
You should get a refurbished ice cream truck.
And just leave the jingle going on
Yeah.
it every time.
No,
I
we
drive
already
through
we already have
neighborhood.
the jingle.
The Oscar Mayer.
No, we already have the
Oh, yeah, that's
jingle.
true. We do
just
have a
played
little
it.
song. Yeah, we do.
The Patty jingle.
A patty
Yeah.
jingle.
Do better, yo. You know, I feel like everybody. Well, let's see. Last week or the week before, I talked about the fact that everybody needs to have at least three friends in 3 different friend groups. Somebody doing better than you, somebody along the same level as you, and then somebody that you're doing way better than. I also feel like everybody needs a list of guys. And when I say guys, like everybody probably needs to be friends with a mechanic, right? Can help you out when your car is broke. You probably also need to have a banker or a finance bro. I think you also need to have a handyman on that list.
Yes, we love being taken advantage of.
Also help you out when you need to move.
The guy with
Roof
the truck.
inspector, the guy with the truck. Yeah, I don't know. You have to have a list of guys. And I don't think people think about having an inspector and a handyman as being on your list. But I think it's a pretty good idea to have.
No, you don't want a home inspector as a friend. Because every time we come over, all we see is all the problems in your house, and you don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, but see, also on my list is a lawyer. So it kind of balances out, right? Because if you point out all the problems, then I can just say, well,
My friend's a prostitute, so that's nice.
or your friend's a prostitute or a pimp.
What's his name?
Prostitute. What's her name? It's Madam
Matt what?
Madam Sigourney.
Matt Dam. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
funny.
just trying to help him with his friend group. I'm trying to expand my friend group. Got my drug dealer. You know, that's a good part of the friend group.
Pharmaceuticals, right?
Yeah, pharmaceutical rep. That's what I'll
Right.
call him.
Right.
Oh, man. I made this note because I was having this conversation the other day with someone who does not live around here. And I think, because you grew up in this area, right?
Define this area.
Earth.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
It's
I would say
Houston.
the greater Houston area.
Yes.
Anywhere. You know,
I
I
was
grew
born
up
in Tomball Hospital.
Okay,
if that
that's
helps.
this area. Yeah, I mean, I was born and raised in like southern tip Texas, Rio Grande Valley, right? And I think growing up in the southern part of the country, you kind of have a different geographical map in your mind. And I was talking to somebody who's not from around here, and I just sort of generally called him a Yankee. Now, one, I realized I don't use that term very
Them's fighting
often.
words.
Yeah, I don't use that term very often, but what I did realize was when I do say it, I don't really mean North and South in the Civil War. I basically just mean anybody who lives north of like Oklahoma City.
There's a baseball team called the Yankees. So what's the issue here?
Well, when I called him a Yankee, he said, "Whoa, I'm not a Yankee. I'm from Virginia." And I thought, that seems like a Yankee to me because that's way up north. But if you think about it, it was the furthest northern state in the Confederacy. So, yes, calling him a Yankee was very
You
offensive.
should just call him a hillbilly.
But I'm like, yeah, I could have done that. It probably would have been
That's
more
hillbilly
accurate.
country. We're considered rednecks down here.
We're southern, yeah.
Yeah, like all the coastal southern, they're rednecks, and then when you hit the middle southern, they're hillbillies.
Yeah, the Civil War's still very fresh in everyone's mind in Virginia. So
Well, yeah, it was in this guy's mind. And like I said, I realized that when I do use that term, I don't really mean it to mean north and south. It's just somebody who lives up yonder. And I think the further south you get, the more that kind of gets fuzzy as to what an actual Yankee is. I'm like, if you would have asked me,
There's
is Virginia,
the
were they
only
in the
Yankee-
Union? I would have been like, yeah. I mean, that's practically in Canada. But no, alas, it is not.
I mean, I would just say it's anybody in New York.
That's it? It's a
yeah.
Yankee?
what if they identify as a Met?
True.
Yeah, what if? Oh, man.
Now you're just
that's
being
funny.
teamist.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
bud, you about ready to kick off the show? We've got a segment, I think, coming up in the second half of the show with Patty. But in the meantime, we've got a couple of stories here we wanted to cover in this half of the show.
Okay, so we're starting the show.
Yeah, now and go.
And begin.
In what might be one of the most unusual bills to come out of Texas legislature, lawmakers are now debating whether students should be banned from dressing or acting like anything other than humans while in school. I'm sure you guys have heard about this, but this is the Forbidding Unlawful Representation of Role-Playing in Education, or Furries Act, sponsored by State Representative Stan Gerdes, which, believe it or not, specifically outlaws things like wearing tails, meowing in class, and yes, using a litter box. I love this.
How far we have fallen.
Yeah, schools have changed.
in
Where
society.
they need to have a law for this. I told you, remember we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago? Like, I love the lawmakers who just have this random law that like personally somehow bothered them.
It was the gambling. The guy wanted to overturn. No, it was cockfighting.
It was cockfighting.
In Oklahoma.
This guy was fighting a law to introduce a new bill to lower the penalties of cockfighting, but not make it legal. It's just, hey, we don't need to be charging them $3,000 fine. 500.
That's a lot.
500 would be
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
enough, guys.
And I'm like-
meanwhile, his brother-in-law is running a huge cockfighting ring. Probably.
That's why I was like, well, how does he get inspired to do this? Like, what came across his desk? Like, this is injustice happening in my town. They're getting charged $3,000 for running a cockfighting ring.
You got to follow the money. I mean,
Well, that's
think
what-
about it. There's a balance point between, is it worth it or not worth it to continue this?
My theory is he went to a cockfight and lost a lot of money. And the owner was like, hey, here's the deal. I'll forgive your debt if you introduce a bill. Because there's a problem with me and my work buddies. So we're getting too much fines. We're getting too high. The fine's too high.
Well, this bill says you cannot wear animal-like accessories, so no tails, collars, or fake ears. And I know how much you're into fake ears.
What about those like headbands that have ears on it?
I think that would, that's the thing, is a lot of elementary school girls especially wear those as sort of a fashion thing.
Like, I've seen them on
Holds their hair
headsets.
back. Yeah, they're on headsets as well. I don't actually think, this is a problem.
Can you imagine being a father and your daughter's expelled and you're like, I have to go pick her up, leave work. You're like, what did she do? Like, she get in a fight? Did she throw food at somebody?
I'm sure it's up to the discretion of the teacher, and I don't think anyone's going to throw out a little girl.
She deuced in a box in the corner of the class.
Yeah,
no, that might be pushing it. But I think this was an actual online hoax that never actually
like, Susie,
happened.
you have a box at home.
Of children using a litter box in school, and so this is kind of a response to that. Now, I don't think that kids are actually dressing up as furries and going to school, but I will say this: we're getting out in front of it. Just in case.
That's true.
We're just in case here in Texas.
Not a
you
bad
don't do
idea.
stuff like that. You don't make animal noises like barking or meowing. Use a litter box or lick themselves.
Can you imagine like the basement meetings because they're being persecuted? All the furries. It's like they're going to find us.
Oh, I just love this.
I think it's just a lot of.
Well, of course, this led me. This is a very music-intensive show today to put together a little song about this furries bill. If you would please, Dick, hit my furries music, please.
You really are bored.
Got a little Dwight Yoakam to it.
Yeah.
This is money.
Children were dressed as dogs, barking at teachers and snorting like hogs, meowing, meowing, and licking to clean. We don't do that in the Lone Star. We say what we mean. Don't furry my Texas, my friend.
That's pretty good.
We use the bathroom, not the litter box, and we don't pretend. Don't furry my Texas, my friend. No tails for children, the way it's always been.
That's right. Not here in the Lone Star State, anyone. You want to dress like a furry? Maybe you go do it up there in Virginia with all the other Yankees.
I
But
just
not
wanna
here
say,
in Texas.
I hope Elon Musk never audits y'all because this is the best use of funds I have ever seen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually think I may have a hit on my hands
Yeah.
there with that
Well,
song.
That's a chart topper. That is a chart
the
topper.
slogan
Don't
is there.
furry my Texas.
Send it to the guy.
This
what do you
needs
mean
to
the
be
guy?
on Spotify.
Whoever's doing the bill.
I think I will put the song
Sounds
out
like a
there.
guy that would make a bill like that.
I may actually just put the song out. Why not? We'll release it as a single.
But you got to trademark it.
Yeah. I
no,
guess
we're gonna
so.
just put it out to the world. They can.
Wow.
They can use
How
it forever.
noble.
Yes, it's our gift to the world.
You guys are like Bill and Ted.
It says the bill doesn't just stop at a school policy. It also proposes changes to the Texas Family Code. Dick, quick, what is the Texas Family Code?
Don't litter.
It says
That's the only one. That's the only Texas code I know.
do unto others.
Silence is golden.
It suggests that allowing children to behave or believe that non-human behaviors are acceptable could be considered a form of abuse. Good God.
Yeah.
We're really reaching here, man. Really reaching.
I'm kind of afraid of like what happens if you for Halloween you dress up as a furry.
I believe there are exceptions, and one of those exceptions would be Halloween. That's when it's acceptable to get your freak on.
Yeah, I can finally be
And Deuce
me.
in the corner in a box.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
really
in
happened?
English class, no less.
No, it did. That's what I'm saying. I think this was all a hoax, and so this bill is kind of in response to what some people are saying is a hoax. But I think if anything, they're just getting out ahead of it. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't it all about just not distracting the classroom? And I feel like if you came in a full fox outfit, that
You
would be a
think?
distraction. But if you have a tail, that's a distraction. But also, that person would get made fun of so quickly. That they will
Not
No,
anymore.
Not anymore, man.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
That's the leader of the
Right.
clique right there.
No, that's the class president.
That's the trendsetter.
student body
That's the
president.
alpha. Is that the alpha?
That's
of the
the
group?
alpha. Yep.
I guess I would talk to a chick that was wearing a tail.
I bet you would. I bet you have.
Yeah, I probably have.
Let's be honest here.
But if she was doing it in a grocery store, not at like a music festival.
I think I would talk to anybody that had a tail just to see what's up. Like, what's up with the tail? Tell me about it.
What if she scratched you?
That's her love language?
I think it's assault or maybe battery.
I don't know.
Tick comes in here with scratches all over. What happened? I don't know. I just had a really good
That was
conversation
the
last
first,
night.
I had the first date of a lifetime, man. All she did was purr, meow, and screech and scratch.
I had to take her out of class to do it, though.
Yeah. And then she, for some reason, went in the corner of the restaurant and just laid it down.
Yeah.
Laid a 2-footer down.
Okay, all right.
This is graphic.
An Australian...
She's a big cat.
Yeah, I bet. An Australian woman has faced court.
She's got one of those blowers, you know, when they blow over the wall.
An Australian woman has faced court over her plans to sell...
You ever seen a cat sneeze?
Good God. I'm trying to get off of this.
No, the cat sneeze one would be like, the whole time I'd be like, is this turning me on or not? Like, I'd be so confused.
I don't know.
I would be so confused the whole time.
Someone had corn for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay, good God.
We gotta change
This
that
isn't
diet.
making the final cut,
we
is
got,
it?
Yeah,
Edit the last 3 minutes
we
out,
gotta
please.
change that diet. What's a cat food brand? Like that'd be the
Friskies.
Maybe
Meow
that'd be
Mix.
the easiest.
Yeah.
That'd be the easiest birthday person to give gifts to. Just give them like catnip
Yeah, or a laser pointer.
or a laser. Or a dick pointer.
Excuse me?
What?
He gave me a dick pointer.
I gave him a laser light that shines in the shape of a
Oh,
phallus.
so not like advice on how to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me tell you how to do this real quick.
Right.
See, son, this is
the
how
base.
it's used.
You know, speaking of Theo Vaughn, you know that Danny McBride was on his show and he gave him that same gift.
Really, I think they're kind of popular. Again, I saw these
got
or
it
first
for
heard of
Christmas.
these.
So he regifted it, or you regifted it?
Oh no, I just saw it on a podcast. He's like, I got you a gift, and it's like one of the funniest things. And right when I saw the package, like, I know what that is. That was great. It's a great gift.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx
He probably got
apparently
the idea from you.
had one of them shown on, like somebody
of the
was
show.
projecting it up on him on at his chest at a nightclub back in December, and he got into an altercation and it made the news. That's how I heard about it. I'm like, oh, Jamie Foxx can do a fight, dick laser. Wait, what?
He got into a fight over a laser pointer.
Yeah, somebody pointed at him. He did not appreciate that because his daughters were there, and that's inappropriate, Patty. That's inappropriate.
Okay.
So that's when I said, I don't care about that, but where do I order me one of those?
Why are his daughters at a party that people bring dick lasers to?
I think it was a birthday party.
I think why are people bringing dick lasers to a kid's
Yeah,
party?
That's true. Well, it was his birthday party. Jamie Foxx's birthday, I believe.
Why are kids at a birthday party?
Because it's his dad. Ah, look, man, I don't know.
Terrible.
Moving on, an Australian woman has faced court. That's oddly worded.
What kind of furry
over-
would Jamie Foxx
Good
be?
God, I can't get off this story.
What kind of
Play the song again.
What kind of furry would Jamie Foxx be?
A really handsome
Not
one.
Would he
a
be?
fox.
Would he not be a fox?
No, it'd be too on
I mean,
the
isn't it
nose.
self-explanatory?
Well, that's what I was wondering. Oh,
He'd be a hound. For
be
sure.
a hound, yeah.
Because she planned to sell human toes that were regurgitated by dogs at an animal shelter.
Wait, that's the punchline. What story are you talking about?
The one I've been trying to get to for the past 10 minutes.
Oh,
Were these toes fed to the dogs, or did they just?
These are good questions, all good questions. But apparently, a Melbourne woman named Joanna Kinman, 48, pled guilty on Monday to offensive conduct involving human remains. The court heard Kinnan retrieve the toes from a trash can in the shelter she worked at in 2024. I have to admit,
Wait, so someone threw the toes out? I'm pretty sure trash becomes public property at that point.
2 dogs who were taken to the shelter fell ill and vomited up the toes.
they're human toes.
Human toes. That's
So why
correct.
are there human toes in the trash can?
which belonged to their recently deceased owner. The dogs had eaten parts of their owner's body after he died of natural causes. So the owner dies, dogs get hungry, start chewing on his
Yeah,
toes.
I've heard
They're taken
stories
to the
that.
shelter. The dogs get sick. They vomit the toes up. Somebody takes the remains, puts it in the trash can.
Right.
And this woman says, I could make a few bucks off of these
eBay.
toes.
Yeah.
I don't see the problem. The toes were thrown
Well,
out.
I don't think you're allowed to have human bones.
What?
You're not allowed to have them. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Actually,
don't think unless you're like a researcher, you have to
Or a freak.
You have to have like a license to deal with human remains. Like I can't just get a human skull and put it on my mantle.
Why not?
I do think there's a law.
Yeah, I
against
think
it.
I really
Yeah, I think
I
it's against the
wanted-
law.
I think it's against the law to have any human remains.
What about in Louisiana?
besides ash? I guess you can have your ashes.
Well, that's okay. Well, she tried to sell them online. How much do you think she was trying to get per toe?
$50.
$50. How much do you think, Patty?
I would like to hope 500, but I think it would be hilarious if it was like 15 or $20.
All right. Well, Kinman told police she took the toes home and placed them in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking she could fetch more than $250 if she sold them online.
Well, I'd say $50 a toe. How many toes are there?
I think it was just 2. I think. It just says toes. It doesn't say how many. You're right.
Was it a big toe?
You know,
or was it like a pinky toe?
I would like to think that the big toe would fetch more.
Yeah.
Pinky toe's kind of lame. Big toe, you can make a
It
necklace
goes by
out of
weight,
that.
maybe. Like,
Why did this woman think she could sell them?
can you weigh them in carats?
What do they?
Why would the woman take it in the first place?
That's what I'm saying. When you see human remains, the first thing you think of is, oh no, what happened? Perhaps I should contact the owner to see if he's okay. No, you don't think I'm going to sell these online.
Well,
Well,
I
it's-
mean,
what about those people who
think about Feet Finder. I mean, there's a market for it.
Don't people feed cats like coffee beans and they poop them out?
Well, this woman was strange
Cowie
because
Lupa
during
coffee.
a search, during the search of her home, officers also found a guinea pig trotter. Don't know what that means.
I think that's a wheel.
A bird skull and an alligator claw. This chick was into some freaky stuff, Dick. I will see if I can get her phone number for you. She probably also wears a tail.
How big?
Just big enough.
How big's that tail?
As big as you want it, bud.
She probably got the tail off a real animal, too.
Yeah. Ripped it right off.
While an East Texas man was facing a death sentence, his Dallas-based defense attorney was allegedly messaging and soliciting women, according to a petition to reinvestigate his capital murder conviction filed late last month. This is really weird. So apparently this guy is on trial for murder.
Okay.
And during the trial, his lawyer was texting hoes trying to get some action during the trial. Well, he's such a moron because when you're on trial like this, all communications are of record. They could go back and timestamp this thing. They can track it. They found that he was actually, during the trial, texting these ladies, hey, you outside right now?
The attorney was.
The attorney was.
So if you're an attorney, you have to give your phone over?
No, but, well, here, there's a lot of information about this. It says, Hayes messaged an undercover cop posing as
that
an
makes more
escort
sense.
during the 2021 trial. The court document says that Hayes was arranging to pay. How much do you think he was trying to pay for this
2 toes.
sex? That would have been a little bit high. This was $110 in exchange for sex.
$10.
$100.
Is that a processing fee or something?
That's what it says. Arranging to pay $110. You guys seem like
That makes sense, though. That does cover the
You have
credit card
knowledge.
swipe fee.
Yeah.
Seems like you guys have knowledge of how much this transaction should cost. You're
Well,
both
you know, they're-
surprised by the amount.
You know, it's 3%.
Well,
You're
we
usually
have
so you got to charge
inflation.
3.5% to 4%,
Yeah.
so you can cover the percentage when they percentage the percentage.
Yeah. Eggs are more expensive, so are hookers.
I
you know
guess
how it
so.
is.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's not $60 anymore.
Yeah. Not the good
Those
old
days are long gone.
not the good old 90.
It's not your grandpa's prostitute anymore, is it, man?
Nope.
God, this show's stupid. All right, man, it's a pretty good time to take
I mean,
a break.
is it really that big of a deal that an attorney was doing that? I mean,
Yeah,
the
Dick,
only
yeah,
thing
it
that's
is.
shocking is he was doing it during
a
trial.
a murder trial, yes. And so now the guy who was convicted of murder is wanting to retrial, basically saying,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
look.
a mistrial for
yeah,
sure.
hey, look, my lawyer was out there sexting people.
Clearly
Clearly
not objecting when he should have been objecting. In fact, he was just objectifying.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I just like this idea. This
What
guy
kind
in
of fury?
court.
What kind of furry would he be?
I don't know, man.
What do you think? Like a duck? Like he'd be a quack quack.
I don't know. You're really into this. What kind of furry would you be? I'll think about it during the break. All right, it's a pretty good time to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have some caulk talk with Patty. Stick around, everybody.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
And we we are back with the second segment of Audience of One. Right here on Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to submit your funny articles that you find to audienceofoneshow@gmail.com. Feel free to donate, sponsor the show. Visit us online at irlonestar.com/. And that's AOO for the onesies. And we're back with Patty, our Mr. Fix-It, multiple calendar edition man over here. He's in all sorts of calendars these days. He wasn't in my favorite calendar, the dog pooping one.
Probably.
So now I want a cat one,
good
by
reason.
the way. I want cat one with cat
Mostly 'cause
litter.
I'm not a dog.
So now I want a furry one of furry people taking a dump.
Oh my God!
I
Enough
bet
of
it's
that.
out there.
I'm gonna rue the day I ever brought that story to
Well, you're the
air.
one that bought the calendar for me. It was a great calendar.
It was, actually. Yes, Patty, our resident handyman. I got a question for you. What do you think is the amount of money that you can win in the lottery and still be yourself?
$2 billion.
Right?
I would say an infinite amount.
You guys aren't playing the game correctly. Still be yourself, huh? Because I like to
I'm not
think-
going to buy another car. I love my truck. Like I named my truck, so I'm
Then
not.
what do you need infinite amount for then?
And I'm a monogamous truck owner. You know, like
Yes,
I will
you
not.
Do, you
I
make
will not.
sweet love to
I will
only
not cheat on that truck.
That's right.
Because she's been good to me.
Because I just feel like if you won the lottery, say like I don't know, $50,000, there would be signs.
Oh, I already know how
You know?
I change. I become an alcoholic easy. Because I'd be like, I'm not afraid of
you
the
said
bill.
change.
Oh, true. Well, I'm not afraid of the bill. I could be like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to drink Ultra. I'll drink the more expensive beer now.
I don't know. I just feel like if you won, I don't know, a low amount, like $50K, you wouldn't tell anyone, but there'd be signs. You'd come in with a jacket with like really long fringe and a high-end Oculus, like you're always wearing this Oculus. But then when you blow through that money in about 3 weeks,
I'd buy you that
you're
weird.
right back to
that
looking
weird,
like you are now.
I would buy you that weird dog costume
to
from
return
that
it.
Japanese dude.
Had to return the Oculus. Oh yeah, that one Japanese guy, the very lifelike costume that he spent like $25,000 on.
Yeah, I'd buy you
to look
that.
like a collie was phenomenal.
I'd buy you
was
that,
phenomenal.
and I'd make sure you open it in front of people that you like respected. So like your workmates or something. I'm like, dude, I got you this gift. Look at this box, and
And
you
I have to
open it,
feign like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever.
and it's like a real life golden retriever outfit. Have you seen this thing?
Absolutely not.
So
I am out of the loop on
let's see if I can pull it up. It's so creepy.
people dressing up like animals.
Well, no, it's like because when people think of furries, they think of like the mascots you see at baseball games, right? This guy bought a suit so he can look like a dog, like an actual dog. If you walked in the room and he sits like a dog, and he looks like a dog.
Yeah, mascots generally look like human beings in a costume. This was an attempt to look like an
I think
actual
that's
animal.
mostly because the NFL just doesn't have the budget for anything better.
The game would be better if it was, though. You able to pull that up quickly?
Oh yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I got it, dog.
Wow, that looks like a real horse.
Here we go. See, there you go.
Oh, that's too much.
Isn't that awesome?
He's got the mannerisms down, too.
Isn't that awesome?
That's too much.
For those of you just
That's so
listening and not
creepy.
watching, we are showing video of the Japanese man in his collie costume being drug around by his presumed wife and or owner as he rolls
This
over and
looks
plays
like something
dead.
out
And
of a Jim Henson's nightmare.
Oh yeah.
yeah, his
But
mannerisms
see what
are
I'm
pretty good.
talking about? I think Andrew would really appreciate a costume like this.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What breed would you get?
Yeah,
him?
that's a good question, Andrew. What breed would you prefer?
A West Highland Terrier. Thank you.
I don't even know what that is.
You answered that way too fast.
Oh, let me pause.
No, you've definitely been thinking about this.
West Highland Terrier.
That you've been thinking about this too much.
I like it. But yeah,
All right, without further ado, I think we've teased it long enough.
cock talk.
Cock
Is
talk.
it about that time for cock talk?
It's
It's on the tip of the tongue.
Is it right there? Is it the time for the cock talk?
now I am a little nervous because sitting across from me is a chair full
Oh, this is really cock talk.
of.
I did not see this.
Oh, we're kicking it off right.
All right, let's
I
say
wish
it.
I had some intro music for it.
So
But,
cock talk. Do 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 do. Cock talk. Do 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 do.
just as good as the stuff I do. Thank you.
Yeah, we can work on that.
What do we got here?
Okay,
what
so
do we got here now?
are we really learning about cock today?
Yes. So we're going to kick off Cock Talk by actually talking cock. So,
You have the camera on?
I gotta change the camera.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were doing this.
This is greatness.
yes. Always come with the black mamba.
So I see some gorilla cock. I see some brown cock and some white cock.
Did you write this off?
Looks like some cocks have already been used and some are fresh, unopened cock.
Some cock gets used.
The
more
black
than others.
mamba. I like that. So what are we learning today?
Ironically, the gorilla cock does look smaller than some of the other ones, but
What
I
are
digress.
are we supposed to be learning something from this?
Yeah, so, little handy homeowner tip thing. So, a lot of people will go to the store and they'll see this mountainous wall of caulk, right? And they're just completely not sure what they need to get for their project.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
for every job, there's a caulk. And it's important to read the label to understand what you're working with here because you don't want to use the wrong caulk. So,
There's really this many different types. There's
absolutely,
probably more too.
Absolutely. So there's white caulk, there's brown caulk, there's black caulk, there's clear caulk.
Yeah.
There's paintable
Silicone.
caulk. There's non-paintable caulk. There's silicone. There's elastomeric caulk. There's also
Gorilla.
bath
There's
and tile.
Gorilla caulk.
Yeah, there's bath and tile caulk. There's door and trim caulk. There's caulk that's ready to be painted within 30 minutes. Some you have to wait a couple hours.
See, here I thought all caulk was trim caulk.
Well, that's where you'd be wrong, my friend.
I was wrong.
And there's also caulk that's for actual masonry work. So if you have bricks that have some cracks or some holes in them and you need to fill those holes, well, you want to make sure that you use the right kind of caulk so you get the kind like this right here.
Interesting.
Or
So
Nope,
it
I can't see what
fills
I'm
in
looking at.
gaps in your mortar. Does it dry hard like a brick, or does it actually still stay the same
no,
consistency?
you
as
always want caulk to be a little bit flexible. You don't want it to be too hard because then it becomes brittle and it can separate and crack.
This is just a
I
giant
see.
pun we're doing.
Absolutely not. No, this is
What are you
all very
talking
true.
about?
Yeah.
This is all very true.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Dick.
And
This is
s-
caulk talk, Dick.
And some caulk isn't caulk at all. It's actually construction adhesive. So that's where we
Yeah,
get
that's
in-
one thing I was.
That's where we get into the gorilla and the black mamba and the liquid nails. So these are actually construction adhesives. They're not designed to be used like a caulk. They're designed to actually stick surfaces together.
Yeah.
So it's important to read what type of adhesive you're using because some of them have a 0-second hold. They're designed to actually hold things on contact, so you don't have to sit there and hold it together. You can hold it and just walk away.
Did
Question.
you know they have sound caulk that deafens the sound?
Sound caulking. Okay, like maybe here in the studio if you need
Yeah.
to. Interesting.
You do it
I got a
between two
question for you.
drywalls or two
Have you
Interesting.
ever?
two pieces of wood.
Have you
So
ever?
you put that caulk in between the wood, and you can't hear anything.
Nice and soundproof.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
tight.
you don't want to hear anything.
Have
when
you
you're putting the
ever-
caulk
Yeah.
between the wood?
Yeah.
Have you ever caulked your fingers together, like with super glue?
Super glue, absolutely. Yeah,
The caulk.
but not with caulk. Super glue, yes.
What's the black mamba do? I feel like that's really intense
So
looking.
the black mamba is a very, very fine point use caulk. So if you're installing an undermount sink in a counter, it has to be actually adhered to the underside of the sink. And you need something that's going to hold very fast and very strong. And that's where the black mamba does its best work.
Now, after you've run a great bead of black mamba, at the very end, do you go, Kobe?
No,
That was stupid.
Thank you. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
we'll edit that out.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we'll keep it in just so they can just look at Andrew with disgust. That's
and-
cool. No, I mean, like, one thing I got a question about all these caulks on the table is sometimes when people buy them, they only use it for not even like a fourth of the tube.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
So how long does caulk last?
So it depends on whether or not you and how well you seal it afterwards. So some people will take a wire nut.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah.
they'll put that on. They work great. They also sell these little red caps that you can put on there. And if you may notice, some of these have an extra tip on them. And that's what this is right here. So if you cut the tip of the caulk off, you can actually buy an extended tip that goes
put on top of it, yeah.
so that you have more tip to cut back on
Yeah.
as it clogs up, or if you need more
Now,
caulk to
you
come
can
out.
use that for every single tip out there?
Yes, they are. They are mostly a universal
So any
fit.
size tip, you just buy this extender. So anyone that starts at whatever size they are, they can always extend.
Yes, yes. And it's,
good.
it's very
You
cheap.
can
to
always
extend.
use more tip.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Oh, and I almost forgot about the roofing caulk.
How could Roof Daddy
Do you have
forget
your own
about-
brand? Do you have your own brand yet, Patty?
No,
It's not
no.
called Pattycock? Pattycock?
No.
Baker's ham?
But I like where your head's at.
I like it too.
Or Baker's man, but whatever, it's fine.
What did I say? Baker's
You
cock?
said ham.
A ham, whatever.
Baker's ham.
Sorry, I'm not in.
You don't buy ham from the baker?
Not usually.
Oh, you're missing out, bud.
I'm not in preschool with my ringlets.
I'm thoroughly amused by all this cock talk, by the way.
I think it's cool.
This is greatness, yes.
But there's also
Oh my gosh.
stripping and smoothing your cock.
Okay, that's right. You'd have
Yeah.
all those tools.
So they have special tools for stripping and smoothing your cock. So these right here have scrapers on them.
Yeah.
So you can scrape the flat surfaces, and you also turn it this way, and you can get into the corners and strip the cock out. Now this one's plastic, and it doesn't work so great. The plastic part gets a little dinged up there. So if you go with the metal one, it has a nice sharp tip to it, and it stays sharp. And it's
What's
a
your
lot
favorite
better
cock
for
tool?
Probably this one.
That
right
one in
here.
your hand?
It pretty much does it
What
all.
brand
it
is
smooths
that?
the cock, it scrapes the cock, and it also strips the cock.
What brand is it? So people
Stanley.
know. Stanley.
Yeah,
So
this is-
Stanley cock tool.
This is a Stanley cock tool. You can pick this
Okay.
up at pretty much any big box store, or you can order them on Amazon.
So as a man who's dabbled a little bit in building and home restoration, I know a little bit about this. Just enough to be dangerous. But I've also noticed that I'm also not the...
You should always be safe with cock.
This is true. This is true. Wear eye protection.
Yes.
I've been told.
Keep your mouth closed.
Is when I'm
I mean,
putting
how
in...
fast are you spraying this stuff?
Sometimes
putting
it
in
comes out faster
When I'm
than
putting
you
in, say,
planned.
like baseboards or something like this, I've noticed that my cuts aren't all that clean or all that great. I'm like, don't worry, I'll put a little caulk in that crack, and no one will ever be able to tell. However, there is a point at which the crack is too big for the caulk. So, at what point do you say, we're going to have to recut that? There's just not enough caulk to fill that crack.
Well, my first advice is to become a better carpenter.
True. Let's say that's not an option, as in the case with me.
But I would say you could probably get away with filling a 1/16 inch gap with caulk. But anything more than that, you really want to do better with your cuts.
Yeah, don't look at my baseboards then, because 1/16 is very small.
Well, it's big to some people.
True.
Here we go.
It's very true.
This
Wow,
is
1/16.
This has been Cock Talk.
I mean, I was thinking you were going to say 1/4 inch at least, because I know I've put some caulk in a 1/4 inch crack before. Yeah,
Not in
I'm not
baseboards.
proud
Not
of
in
it.
ba-
Look,
not in
it was,
baseboards.
it was a moment of weakness. I understand.
If
it was
any-
one time back in college,
If anything, it was a moment of exploration,
right?
and it was wonderful for that one time.
Yeah, sometimes you
Interesting.
don't do the same thing twice.
No, this is
What
true.
happens if you get caulk on your dog costume? How do you get it out?
Yeah, that is true. Does it come out of clothes?
Usually you can just rub it out.
Okay.
That's,
Let it dry a bit and just rub
There's
it
not
out.
like a detergent that's really cock friendly.
No, now I have some shirts that are proof that some of the construction adhesives are never going to come out.
Yeah.
So yeah, those all got put in the Bill Clinton section of the closet.
Yeah. Is that what that was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what my mom
It
told
was
me.
Doing
it was
renovations.
construction adhesive.
yeah, they were doing some renovations on the West Wing, Dick.
He got his gorilla on there, and the rest
Yeah.
is history, as they say.
Well, this is fascinating. I'm glad to know that there are this many different types of adhesives and caulks out on the market, all for
How
specific
long does
and
caulk
different
last?
uses.
Well, that depends on how well it's applied and the quality of the caulk. So
All right. Is there like a grade on these things where the normal person can understand? Oh, that's platinum.
I wish they would, but my best advice is buy the most expensive caulk.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Do you want to know what the difference is in price between the cheapest caulk
Like
and
$10?
and the most expensive caulk? Is about $4.
Well,
Seems like a lot though when you're
Is that
at the store.
is that a brand thing or is it?
Somewhat. Some brands have a wide variety to choose from.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
you
figure out.
They're not all like a one caulk pony. One caulk pony.
Well, like Dab makes.
We'll edit that out.
Dab makes a lot.
Yeah, DAP.
They make a lot of different cocks.
So much editing.
DAP
in
has
this.
a wide spread of caulk.
That
for
one we
sure.
were looking at is a hybrid.
Yes, there are some hybrid
Yeah,
caulks out
they're
there as
evolving.
well.
These cocks are evolving.
Yeah.
I think the Black Mamba name alone makes you wonder. Like, that's such an interesting name for a caulk company.
Yes, and you would think that the caulk is black, but it's actually white.
Well, why would they call it Black Mamba? Because it's quick.
I think because it's a really good name.
Because that's the quick drying one.
If
right?
I was going to make a caulk, I would call it Black Mamba.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you call your caulk company?
Do you have a name for your caulk?
Yeah. Do you have a name for your caulk company?
No, I don't. Not at the moment.
I feel like this is going to be about 5 seconds long.
Mine
after
would
it gets all
be
edited.
mine would be called Dick Spit.
Spit or bit?
Spit. And it'd have my face on it. And it'd be great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Would some of the caulk be on your face on the
No.
on the label? No, that would
No.
be too much.
This is a great
That'd be
episode.
crossing the line.
The stupidest
That
thing
is great.
we've ever done, and I think it's awesome. Well, thank you. I wish I would have had a little caulk talk. We can play this intro song again if you want, but thank you very much. This has been fascinating and educational, to say the least. I really don't even know where to go after this, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean,
Well, I think the next time we do caulk talk, we can talk about wood.
yeah.
And
Naturally,
how-
that's
how
the
it-
bridge.
how it-
Caulk to wood.
How it gets bigger and how it shrinks
Yeah.
throughout the seasons.
Due to the moisture in the air.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have made some sliding barn doors for my house, and I've noticed at certain times of the year they touch the ground, and other times they don't, because I probably did not use the right type of wood. But I don't know.
Well, it's
Or that's
more
just the way it
so
is.
about how you put it together.
Oh, sloppily, I'm sure.
Some like it sloppy.
Yes. Do better.
Do
I
better.
need to do better.
Yep, got to do better
Awesome.
than that.
Awesome. Well, do we want to transition into some more crazy ass stories?
Yeah, we got a couple more minutes.
A
Here on Audience of One.
woman died
I'll
after
leave this up
falling
over here.
out of a golf cart, and the driver was charged with DUI manslaughter, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. The driver of the golf cart, Richard Kell, was found to be impaired after the crash and arrested by troopers. They say that Kell swerved to avoid a parked car when the woman fell out. So this was a car was parked, not even moving. So I think he had a quite a night out at the day out at the golf course.
yeah.
Probably had a few fireball shots. I've been known to do a few of those myself, and I hope the camera was on that, by the way, the whole time, and not what was on the screen. That would be terrible if we lost that.
No, I made sure.
Okay, good. But that is pretty interesting. I will say that golf carts can be really dangerous, and I have been, I don't want to say victim, because this person obviously was really a victim, but been the victim of a sharp turn and almost flown out of a golf cart before. But this was in the middle of the night, and guy's hammered, tries to avoid a parked car, woman falls out and dies of her injuries.
Did she fall down a
Yikes.
ravine?
No, that was Clara Clayton from Back to the Future.
I think more than one person in history has fallen into a ravine.
From a golf cart?
I don't think Clara Clayton fell from a golf cart,
It was Back to the Future. That's possible.
but it was in the 1800s.
No, again,
And technically, she didn't fall into the ravine.
that's true. She was saved. Doc Brown saved her, thus creating an
canon.
alternate 1885.
That's right.
And the school books were never written the same. Dick, this is some heady stuff. Great Scott, as they say. Well,
Now, let's get back to cock
Let
talk.
this be a lesson to you while driving inebriated, Dick, in your golf cart.
Well, just driving in
be
general.
careful.
Try not to be inebriated, but if you are, then just tough it out.
A Chinese hot pot restaurant said it would compensate over 4,000 diners who had visited one of its outlets in Shanghai after two diners urinated into the hot pot broth.
Really? I always wondered when I went to one if people would ever do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because the hot pot broth looks awfully similar to urine?
Well, because people like to pee in things.
A video showing two men urinating into the broth of their hot pot while dining in a private room at, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Heidilao restaurant started circulating online last month.
I don't really think hot pots are that good, though.
I don't know if I've had one.
There's
How
one-
much money do you think each person got for eating piss?
4,000 patrons because two 17-year-old boys decided to pee in the hot pot. I don't know.
I thought it was your own hot pot. So they went into the big one.
I think they went into the community
There's
hot pot.
There's a big one.
When they scoop up
And bring it
to you. Yeah, I guess so.
Now
Yeah,
I
I
understand.
don't think they were doing it tableside.
Yeah, I was imagining myself having the hot pot dinner, and then like my neighbor just stands up on his chair and starts taking a leak in his hot pot.
But wouldn't it be odd, though, if this was the secret ingredient that actually made their broth so yummy?
Maybe that's how orange chicken is so good.
I don't get it.
Perhaps the P.F. Chang story is just a ruse.
P.F. Chang.
There you go.
What I think is interesting is they said this case showed a lack in training procedures. So wait a minute.
Yeah, they should have put
You
it in.
never told me I wasn't supposed to piss in the pot.
They work there?
Yeah, these were two 17-year-old boys that worked there. No, it said it was the staff's failure to detect the situation promptly. Apparently, they let it go on for a while.
There should have been taste testing, I
Yeah,
guess.
I don't know, but it was a failure in their training procedures.
That'd be a funny security video.
The company did not say how much it would be spending in compensation, to answer your question, Patty. You think it'd be a funny video?
Well, just think about the guy who has no idea what's going on, and they're like, "Hey, we have to show you something."
Oh, it's like the restaurant owner?
Yeah, and he's just like, "What?"
Hey, that's my kitchen.
And he's like, "Hey, there's my."
Oh, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? Put that away.
Why is that dated 2 weeks ago?
Imagine opening the email from the restaurant months later and being like,
Someone pissed in
hey, by the way, you ate piss, and we have predetermined how much that's worth to you, and so here's a gift card for $50.
Right. Never take the first offer, by the way. Never take the first offer. Like some of these folks that have been involved in the Delta airline that flipped over a couple weeks back, immediately Delta's like, hey, we're going to give you $30 and a first-class voucher. Don't you worry about it. The lawyers are going,
First class, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Don't jump on that. And when I say $30, I believe it was 30,000.
I would be like unlimited flights for my life.
Yeah, and I think a lawyer would tell you,
I'd rather take $30,000. I don't fly enough.
I would take neither of it and let the lawyers handle it because I'm liable to wait several years but get several million.
Minus several million for lawyers' fees.
Yeah, right. This is true.
Yeah, I would just take. I would say a ticket, 4 tickets, unlimited
To
flight.
paradise?
Says the guy who's flown 4 times in his
Yeah, but my life would change. I would
This
fly
is
everywhere.
This is true. This is true. Because you can.
What if you flew one too many times and the next plane?
Well, then I make more money.
Not if you don't live.
No, I'd live.
Okay.
Duh.
Didn't think about that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh. Loophole.
You're probably gonna die, but I'll probably live
Absolutely.
because I put the mask on first.
I hear 100% of people that, such as myself, that have skeletons in their bodies die.
Yeah. End up in
As
dogs.
opposed to exoskeletons.
Yep.
End up
I've
in
never heard of a person with an exoskeleton dying. Have you? Didn't think so.
Well, you got me there. Mm-hmm. You got me there. Yeah.
Hashtag statistics.
All right, what's next? Is that it?
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, we can go on and banter on this one if you want, or I can move to the next.
Move to
story.
the next one.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, yeah. So when you want to move to the next story, we go right ahead. But when you want to keep talking about cats dookying in the corner,
That's funny
wearing
to me.
tails, we just keep
The
beating it to
ones
death.
just love that kind of talk.
They really do. They really do.
What if the workers were just furries and that's just how they
My God,
communicate?
I brought it back up. It's my fault, onesies. My apologies.
That would make the video funnier.
Yeah. And make more
If they're-
sense,
if they're-
actually.
if they were
What if
barking
they were
the whole
dressed
time.
up like lemmings?
Yeah, they're trying to.
Oh, the other guy was doing it.
Yeah.
One goes, oh, it's like everything else. I see somebody pee and it makes me have to pee. A Sarasota man has been charged with felony burglary of an occupied dwelling after breaking into a home and then falling asleep on the couch over the weekend. This sounds like a guy
He's trying to squat.
right out of your playbook here, Dick.
Wouldn't-
Yeah,
wouldn't
he
that
took
be-
the Goldilocks thing too seriously.
Wouldn't that be great if you're like it was in Canada where the squatting is like very easy to do? Like you break
Did
in.
you say Canada?
Is it Canada?
Are you assuming that Canada has very lax laws, sir?
Well, I remember once
yes.
Squatting?
No, we were talking about like one country. It was
Yeah, I
like
forget what it was,
It was
actually.
either
I
like
think it's
Sweden.
I think it's
or
Australia. Yeah.
So imagine you're breaking in and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to steal this guy's jewelry. You're like, oh, this house is really nice. I'm going to change my mind.
I think
Wild
instead of
card.
jewelry, I'm going house.
I'm just going to squat on this house.
Going all in, man.
Yeah.
Going all in.
Just tell him a kangaroo chased you in if you get caught.
That's true.
Works for me.
Oi. Marty Pittman, 44, told officers she woke up around 7:20 a.m. and found 29-year-old Timothy Bontarger sleeping on her living room couch. Bro couldn't even finish the job.
You know how scary that
We've
would
all
be?
been there. We've all been there. Yeah, finding some strange guy just asleep
Asleep?
on your couch.
Yeah.
Would it be less scary than finding him awake? I don't think so.
It'd be easier if he was asleep because I would just call the cops and leave and be like, "There's this guy in my house. I don't feel comfortable."
Definitely got to zip tie him into a
And I
very
plant-
vulnerable position.
and
I was going to say, if he's asleep,
And what I would do though, knowing how the police don't do their jobs, I plant a gun next to him.
Hashtag Conroe Police.
And-
Are
Whoa.
you listening?
And the
We all do
drugs
our stuff.
and my drugs and plant it on them. And so when they arrest him, I'm like, I can't believe he had drugs in my house.
We're friends of the police.
But then
around
you
here.
lose your drugs.
Yeah, well, I want them looking throughout the house.
When she asked Bontarger, I guess that's how you say his last name.
terrible name.
Who he was and what he was doing in her house, he apologized. Sorry. My bad.
No,
I love
there's-
that. Why did she wake him up?
No,
though?
there's-
That's the thing.
there's
You,
been
you had the right
stories-
idea. Zip tie his ass.
There's
he ain't going nowhere.
There's been stories of drunk people going into the wrong house and sleeping in the house.
Yeah, it doesn't say if this guy was on anything.
Was he actually stealing anything?
I don't think the felony was completed because he hadn't left the house yet. He was just breaking and entering. There was no theft at that point.
So you're telling me he's a narco, or is it narco?
Narcoleptic.
Narcoleptic?
Yes.
Thief? Well, that's great. That's a movie right there.
But hey,
He's a klepto narco.
yeah, klepto narco.
he's also an apologetic one, though. He apologized, guys.
Oh, that's what they do up there.
Up there.
Oh no, you said this is in Australia.
No, not this one. This is in Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah, that's a Florida man.
Oh, never mind.
Florida
That's a
man.
Florida
That's
man
right.
scenario. You know, since we have Patty here, I just thought of this question. Not that you've fallen asleep in any client's house, but
But if you did,
have you ever been to a client's house where they like forbid you to go into a certain room?
No.
Really?
he's like, I'm allowed to go everywhere.
I mean,
You kind
I
of
guess
have
you
to.
kinda have to.
Yeah, you kind of have
you're
to.
kind of like a game warden when you're doing home inspections.
That's what I was thinking. Like, because there's got to be someone who has like a skeleton or something, like bones, or like don't go in the garage.
Yeah, and your code of ethics, if you find a big stash, are you supposed to report it? I mean, because honestly,
Aren't you checking the
couldn't
HVAC
you just
system?
take it? Because they're not going to report, hey, this guy stole my drugs.
But
Well,
if they did, I would definitely lose my license.
Yeah.
license.
Would you not even say anything? Like, you know, because I imagine you check the vents and everything, right?
Well, not like
You don't go
opening
into
them
it.
up or anything
Yeah.
like that.
That's where I hide my stuff. In the vents.
With the return vents or
Dick,
the
we're on the
supply
air.
vents?
We're on the air.
We'll edit that part out.
Yeah. So much editing.
I'm
in this.
kidding.
Right. Joe.
Yes, I know.
Fall asleep in my house. I dare you. No, yeah, I was just worrying that because I can totally see, like, oh, I'm working on like a paint project. You can't go in there.
Yeah,
Well-
that's it. Paint project.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, don't worry, I've seen it all.
Let's
like-
just say a
like
14-year-old
Dexter's
Filipino girl
basement.
is painting in there. That's exactly what it is.
There's a furry in there. Don't mind the kitty litter box
In the next to the crib.
next to the crib. There's some weird stuff going on here. You ever got that vibe from a client? Like there's some weird stuff going on here?
I've had a couple clients that I don't do work for anymore just because they're
A bad vibe?
yeah, that the house is a clutter disaster, and just trying to work around there is awful, and then they're not pleasant to work with. They like to try and debate you on the fee that they've already agreed to. So it's kind of like, yeah, this will be my last time coming here.
Do most people
And they don't have any drugs left.
are most people there when you do it?
So for a home inspection where someone is buying the house, typically the house is empty. Or the person buying it will sometimes show up at the end, and I'll go over the report with them. But for the most part, if someone's selling a house and I come to do the inspection, it's standard for the seller to not be there. It's part of the privacy rights for the buyer.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was wondering, there's all these little rules.
Oh, there's a lot.
And Andrew seems really excited about learning.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Because, Andrew buys and sells houses all the time.
Oh,
Yeah. You
Quite-
know me, man.
quite the real estate mogul, are we?
Oh, yeah. Like trading cards.
And yet you've not had me do a single inspection for you.
Oh,
Yeah, he does his
I got
own.
I got a guy.
Wow. Yeah. Had a guy.
Had a guy. Yeah.
All my guys are ladies, though.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Equal
Like
opportunity.
from Thailand or?
Whatever passes the bill. Yeah.
Once dubbed the world's ugliest animal for its soft, lumpy appearance, the blobfish has made a stunning comeback. Dick, are you sitting down? Are you ready? It was crowned this week as Fish of the Year by the New Zealand Environmental Group. What a colossal waste of time. Apparently, every year, nearly 5,000 people get together in New Zealand to vigorously debate what the fish of the year is. And this year, the soft, lumpy, ugly fish named the blobfish has come out on top, avenging his previous moniker as world's ugliest fish.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I'm actually a little jealous of the people of New Zealand because can you imagine like how few problems you must have as a society
right.
that 5,000 people can get together for this?
I like it. That fish
Like
looks.
you guys,
Here, I'm
we
gonna pull it
got
up.
to do something
that
with our
thing.
time here. Let's nominate a fish of the year.
Yeah, it says this year the blobfish took home the coveted accolade with nearly 1,300 out of the more than 5,500 votes cast.
That is melted Ziggy.
It looks like, yeah, it does look like a candle that is at the end of its.
Is it
end of its
dead in
wick.
this picture?
I don't think so.
I think it's not happy.
Yeah, so previously, as I said, it won the world's ugliest animal in 2013.
What a redemption!
What a comeback story. That's my whole point.
What do you think's coming out? What's coming out of his mouth?
I
right
was
there?
just about to ask. There's a little
Looks like a little bit of caulk.
probably silicone.
While the blobfish is known for its misshapen silhouette, in its natural deep sea habitat, it actually resembles a regular fish, with its shape kept together by the high water pressure. But when you remove it, it looks like it's melting like a Picasso. Is it a Picasso?
That's not it.
That does all, no, not a Picasso. What is it? What is the painting? Does all the
Picasso.
Is it Picasso? Okay, it looks like a Picasso painting.
I have 3 in my house.
Originals, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Did you know that he died in like the 50s?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Picasso?
Yeah. I always pictured him as like
He's not like a Renaissance artist.
Nope.
He died in the fifth. No, he died in like 1972 or something.
or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, if you had asked me what year Picasso lived, I probably would have said it started with the number 17.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you mean to tell me he like watched the Cowboys play Green Bay in like Super Bowl IV?
He probably witnessed a Super Bowl victory for the Cowboys.
Picasso.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because that's the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. Ew. And I can say that as a fan. All right, man, it's a good time here for the quick hit at the end of the show. Dick, do you know who Masakao Katsuhara is?
No.
She was nicknamed Katsi and sometimes called the First Lady of Billiards. And she was a Japanese billiards player who was most active in the 1950s. She was the first woman to compete and place amongst the best male-dominated world of professional billiards. First learning the game from her brother-in-law and then under the tutelage of Japanese champion Kirni Matsuyama, Katsura, I think I mispronounced her name the first time, became Japan's only female professional player. In competition in Japan, she took second place in her country's national 3-cushion billiards championship 3 times. Don't know what the hell a 3-cushion billiards championship is, but she won it 3 times.
It's a hell of a trophy.
And in an exhibition, she was noted for running 10,000 points in a game of straight rail. Again, don't know what straight rail is.
To clarify, I believe 3-cushion means that the ball has to strike 3 cushions before hitting another ball.
I knew there was a reason why we brought him in here.
Don't quote me on that.
That makes sense. That does make sense as a logical
or 3,
explanation.
or maybe 3 cushions have to be hit by balls at some point.
Oh, she got swooped up by a U.S. Army guy.
That she did. Married an American man
Gotta watch out for
when
those
she
Army
immigrated
guys.
in 1951.
What's a non-commissioned officer?
NCO, that would be anybody like a corporal or a sergeant.
So below like any type of rank, like real rank?
Below an officer, yes.
But why would they call it non-commissioned?
Because a commissioned officer is technically commissioned for their whole life. So, say, for instance, you become a lieutenant or a captain or a major.
But you're in it for the long haul.
After you get out and retire, you can still be called back into the military service if, say, World War III broke out.
Okay.
But a non-commissioned officer, once
You're
you're
done.
fully out, they don't have the ability to recall you back to the military.
Interesting. See, now I learned that.
And we
Look
just
at
thought
that.
it was all about cock.
Well, that's what we thought Patty was. All cock.
Well, I was going to name Masako
Well,
Katsura.
I'm cock and walk.
I was going to name Masaku Katsura our audience of
Onesie.
onesie of the week, but you know what? I'm going to give it to Patty just for that non-commissioned officer tidbit you just filled us in with. Thank you very much.
It was my pleasure to fill you in with my tidbit.
I like it. That's good.
It's really great. And I think we'll drop in the Don't Furry My Texas at the end of the show as well.
I like
for all
this
you
one.
listening.
I like this one
Oh, we'll
better.
play out with this one, but I mean, we'll just drop in the...
If you want.
All right. We'll see you next week, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Audience of One show here at Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. Don't forget, we're here every Friday at 10 a.m., part of the morning programming, also on podcasts and all that stuff. Patty?
I didn't hear anything you just said. I'm jamming out.
Okay. And we're going to put links to Patty if you're looking for a home inspector, a roof person, all that kind of cool handyman. The links will be available below in the Montgomery. You serve this whole area of Montgomery County.
I go everywhere.
You fly out to...
I go anywhere the money's at.
There we go. I like that. It's a good attitude. All right, onesies. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Do better, yo.
Children were dressed as dogs, barking at teachers and snorting like hogs, meowing, meowing, and licking to clean. We don't do that in the Lone Star. We say what we mean. Texas, my friend, we use the bathroom, not the litter box, and we don't pretend. Don't furry my Texas, my friend. No tales for children,